Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today, as it's the day after Chelsea's crazy 4-1 loss away at Newcastle, and we've got further developments that we're going to get into and what's come out today and all of that. But in the midst of that, we have had a few things happen. We've had Tottenham lose at home to Aston Villa, and we've had Manchester United go to Goodison and win 3-0. So in terms of the Premier League table, it's looking hilarious for Tottenham on our part, but we're not in a position to really laugh. And Man United are somehow still winning games despite not playing brilliantly. So it is what it is. That's the latest in terms of the rest. We're going to get to Chelsea and see what's happening in-house. But before we do, don't forget to catch all the content on here as it drops, and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. On top of that, check out the socials on screen and in the description. Much appreciated. Let's get cracking without any delay. We're going to start off with big news for the football world, especially the English football scene, and that is the unfortunate loss of a footballing legend in England, and that is Terry Venables. He has passed away at the age of 80, so let's get right into it. Terry Venables has passed away after a long illness. Rest in peace. Terry Venables, 1943 to 2023. We have Chelsea. Everyone at Chelsea Football Club is deeply saddened to learn of the passing of former Blue Terry Venables, aged 80. The thoughts and condolences of everyone at the club are with his friends and family at this difficult time. R.I.P. Terry. Now, Terry Venables was a player for Chelsea who'd come from the youth system, started off at Chelsea as an apprentice at age 15 back in 1956, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think from 1960 onwards, he started his senior career at Chelsea, ended up playing, I think, 202 times for the club, and was the most out of all the clubs that he'd played for. He went on to play for Tottenham after, and he went on to play for QPR after. And back in those days, it was normal to do that because there wasn't really anywhere else where you could go. It was quite isolated in terms of the region that you were playing in. If you're a London boy, then chances are you're going to move to another London club, and it wasn't really frowned upon back then. So he done all of that, went on to manage, done well. Barcelona, nearly got the treble, managed at Spurs, managed the England team. He's renowned for that from 94 to 96. And overall for the English footballing scene, he contributed a lot. So it's a loss, and thoughts are with his friends and family. And for someone who contributed a lot to Chelsea and who is a Chelsea boy, this is why I'm mentioning it here. So thoughts are with his friends and family at this time. Let's move to Chelsea. Now, this is actually weird because I was going to come on and talk about the fallout from yesterday's game, talk about, what needs to be done, how can we, make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again, how are we going to progress, how are we going to move forward, try and pick out a few talking points. But I'm stuck with the same talking point of yesterday because just before coming on, I've seen the latest and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I'm going to sum up exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying and why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting. Off the back, right? Off the games that we had against Manchester City and before that, where it looked like we were starting to get things into shape. We're starting to, the Man City game was, honestly, it felt like maybe we've turned the corner. This is what we've been asking for and we've done it. So there's no reason to not keep that up now. But then yesterday, a complete new issue arose and came to the table. And this is going to overshadow everything. So I'm going to tell you my sentiment later and how I'm feeling going forward from now, right? I'll get to that. But let's show you what has happened and then we'll start analysing. So here's the latest coming out of Villarreal. Yeah, you're probably thinking, what? Villarreal? What have they got to do with this? Check this out. Nicholas Jackson has been spotted back in Spain today in the Villarreal dressing room. Now, off face value, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. Yeah, he's gone to his old club and he's gone to see his old friends. Yeah, fine, not a problem. But there is one problem. There's one problem in terms of what we were expecting to happen today. And it turns out that's not the case. So we're going to analyze it some more. Check this out. Here's the clip of Nicholas Jackson in the dressing room today, right? Villarreal's dressing room. There he is. That was the result from today. There's Villarreal's Twitter account or X account that have posted that a couple of hours ago. And this is exactly the situation. 24 hours ago, Pochettino said, we were talking in the dressing room after the game, we should go directly to the hotel and sleep and start to train early in the morning and not have a day off. Fast forward 24 hours, Jackson is pictured in the Villarreal dressing room. Now, some of you, and look, I thought this too, are going to say, no, but yeah, maybe Chelsea had a training session in the morning. Yeah, maybe they had training. Spain's not far. He got on a flight, 2 hours. He's in Spain, goes to the game, and he's in the dressing room. Yeah, absolutely. That is a logical explanation. But there's one problem. We've got confirmation. There wasn't any training today, was there? Not good on Poch's part or whoever made the executive decision. Here's the article from The Athletic. Before he even walked in to address the written media, Pochettino had demonstrated his angst during an interview with Sky Sports, this was after the game, suggesting that a normal way to react to such a poor display would be to cancel the scheduled Sunday off in order to do extra training. As it turned out, it was just an empty threat and the day off went ahead as planned. But it meant that the moment he walked into the press room, he was primed to go even further in his criticism. Was it all justified? The Athletic has taken a closer look at the key points he made. So that's in relation to his words during that press conference. But it turned out today that there was no training. So I go back to my point that I made yesterday. There's no discipline at this football club from head to toe then, is there? There's no one setting an example here, not even Poch. Now, there's two issues here. There's only two possible ways that this could have happened. Two. Only two. Because if there was a planned day off today and Poch didn't say anything and he knew that there was going to be a day off and we had the day off, then this wouldn't be an issue because we all know there's a day off. Now, we heard in the press conference after the game yesterday, after a performance like that, in the way that we threw it away, with the lack of maturity and the lack of discipline, I separate the two. I said yesterday they're not the same. And I don't believe it's lack of maturity. I think it's lack of discipline. And that's the one problem. And it's a big concern. So when I see us lose that way, and then I hear Poch after the game come out in a press conference where he's angry and he's fuming and he says so himself, and then he says tomorrow we're going to have training, and then tomorrow comes and there's no training, I'm thinking, what are you doing? What in the hell are you saying? What are you does your word have any value? Like, what's going on? So like I said, there's only two possible ways that this could have happened. Either Pochettino himself went back on his word, or someone above him said, no, the planned day off is going ahead and you're not doing anything about it. It's one of the two. There is no in between. I originally said, like I said earlier on, I thought when I saw this, okay, maybe they had a session in the morning. Maybe they did go in for training. No one went in for training. Training was planned and then unplanned. The day off was meant to happen. He was about to cancel it, and then he went back on his word despite saying it publicly. What message does that send? To the players, to everyone. It says that your word has no value. So how do you want to get any discipline out of the players? When I see this, I think you're not in control. And I was saying from the Man City game, it seems like now I'm starting to see maybe this is looking like he's starting to really get hold of control. Look, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not getting fooled again. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to go down this route of just complete optimism and hoping everything's going to be okay when we keep coming back to issues one after the other, and now it's an issue where we're not even talking on a footballing level, we're talking on a disciplinary level. on a base, on the foundation of your football club. Everyone at the football club, the institution, should be operating with a certain discipline. That's a non-negotiable. But to come out publicly and say that there's going to be training tomorrow as a sort of punishment or an urgency or like, no, we can't waste time. We need to fix this because this result was unacceptable. So we're going to come to training. And then Sunday comes and there's no training. Like I said, there's two options here. So what's happened? Is it Pochettino has gone back on his word and that just says that he folds easy, or someone above him has said, no, we're going to stick with no training and the day off is going to go ahead. And that just means that he's basically a puppet in the club. So which one is it? So do you understand now why I am reacting the way I'm reacting? Because whatever way we go here, we've lost. Whatever way we go, it's a bad situation. And you know what? I reckon and I think that it's not option A. I don't think it's Poch that's gone back on his word. I think it's option B. I think that it's the club that are telling him, no, have the day off. Don't come in. Don't have training. Why? It wasn't long ago, a few days ago. And if this had not happened, I would probably be looking more to option A. But John Terry went for an evening. He went for a dinner or something. There was an event. I'm not sure exactly what event, but it was in London, and I think it was to some capacity Chelsea related. But not in terms of the club, but I think Chelsea in terms of, I don't know, fans or some sort of event. He went and he spoke. He was basically on a little platform on a stage and he spoke and he said something very crucial here about Roman Abramovich and about the current Chelsea ownership. And how he emphasized that the current Chelsea ownership making footballing decisions. But Roman Abramovich let the footballing decisions to the footballing people only. I heard that and thought, okay, interesting. And then I see this. Well, it doesn't surprise me then. If someone like JT, who is still working within Cobham and does see what's going on within certain walls, right? Coming out and saying that the current model is different to how it was back then, where Roman was allowing the footballing people to make the footballing decisions and he wouldn't interfere. The current ownership are making footballing decisions ahead of the footballing people that they've appointed, then we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. Because I want us to make sure that we have footballing people in place that are left to do their jobs. And if that is the case, then great. If that's not the case, then I'm not surprised if Pochettino thought, I'm going to take a course of action about the loss that we went through yesterday, and now that's been blocked from above or vetoed from above. Now that wouldn't surprise me. So I have to bring that question to you. Is that what's happened? Because if that is what has happened, we are a mess. From head to toe. And now it illustrates why there is no discipline at this football club. Now, I know some people are going to say, no, but Younes, this is probably going over the top. Like, it's making it sound like it's a complete doomsday situation. It's a warning. You can't build anything without discipline. You can't. Name it. You can't. Anything. Not just football. Anything. You haven't got structure and discipline to what you're doing, you're stuffed. Respectfully, you are stuffed. Like the turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to the Americans, by the way. That was a few days ago. So this is the point. We are getting lower and lower, and people are having a sense of acceptance here. And I was at a point where I was thinking we might be turning a corner here, but then yesterday set me back. 1 step forward, 8 steps back. So I'm not having it anymore. This is what I said. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm done getting fooled. That's it. I'm going to be taking a more pessimistic sort of look at on things from now on. Not in terms of just gunning everything down, but now I'm going to be watching with caution. Because clearly, we haven't got any consistency whatsoever. We do the complete extremes, and it's funny, we're not even doing the extremes in a 50-50. We're doing the extremes on a 20-80 basis. On 20%, yeah, we put in an absolute clinic, great performance, and 80% of the time we fold. And we collapse in the way that we did yesterday. Unacceptable. It can't keep happening. It can't keep happening. There is a way to rectify this situation, but there's two things here. Because clearly we lack experience in this team now. That's evident. That is evident. Clearly we lack people that have capacity to take the game with a certain level of discipline, ability, and mentality to take the game by the scruff of the neck and turn it around in that moment. We don't have that capacity. It seemed like we did against Manchester City, but we can't do it consistently. So there is an option here to try and get players in January or summer, wherever it's going to be, because this season is now already looking like an absolute write-off, where we get to the windows and we can change the strategy of the football club. We have to change the strategy of the football club. We can't just be thinking, let's just pluck out all these young players and just wait 3-4 years for it to turn. It's just not, it's not viable. It's not viable. So you have the option to use the young players that you have at the moment, but add some quality winning experience from players elsewhere into the team that can help them, that can show them, that can lead by example. We haven't got anyone leading by example at this football club. It's crazy. But this is where I say that the strategy at the club needs to shift, because it starts at the top. When I hear training's been cancelled, or training that Poch wanted to bring ahead and it didn't happen, I'm thinking this is bonkers. After yesterday's performance, it shouldn't even be training. Everyone should be at Cobham doing laps. You're all running. We're not even touching the ball. Everyone's running, yeah? And I'm exaggerating, obviously, on a footballing level. It's probably not the best thing to do. But you get the gist in terms of what is deserved from putting in a performance like we put in yesterday. That was a shambles. That was unacceptable from us on every level. So when I hear training was meant to happen because that was Poch's idea, and now it didn't happen, what the hell's going on? But like I said, the example stems from above, and it's them that have set the strategy that have put us in this situation that we're in at the moment. So it's up to them to change it. It's up to them to be able to get to the next window or summer. Right now, like I said, this season is looking peak. Yeah? Because some people are going to say, no, but it's okay, it's okay. I thought it might be heading to an okay situation after we played Manchester City. I'm not going to lie. I sat here and I was telling you guys, if we can put in that same performance against Newcastle and keep moving, great. But we didn't. And you saw how we didn't. So like I said, it's 1 step forward and it's 8 steps back. Because yesterday was 8 steps back, not even 2 steps or 3 steps. That was ridiculous what we saw yesterday. As I said, it wasn't even a loss on a footballing level. It was a loss on a mental and disciplinary level. So that's 8 steps back. And that can't happen. Because we find ourselves 10th. We're 8 points away from Man United, who picked up 3 points today, and they are having a weird season so far, but yet they're 8 points ahead of us. We are getting further and further now with results like this from even thinking about a European spot. A European spot, not Champions League, a European spot. Now, talking about Champions League, it was this ownership that apparently had set the target of Champions League football at the end of this season. But what have they actually set up for Poch or this team to actually go and get Champions League football? Let's be real now. When we're seeing the inconsistencies like we're seeing, we're not even going to get European football. We're not even going to get Conference League. Right now, we might not even get top half of the table, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, and we're not going to sugarcoat anything. Because, I'll be honest, last few games, I'm thinking, you know what? No, let's take it from a more optimistic perspective. Let's try and build. Let's try and see, the positives that we can pluck out, what we done well. And then the Man City performance happened, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's working. Maybe this is going in a good direction. And then boom, we get hit with the worst performance of the season, the worst. And we've had some shockers like the Brentford loss and beyond that. But we put in the worst performance of the season, and for a reason that I didn't think was an issue: discipline. So I'm not going to go down that route of just plucking out all sorts of stats and pretending that everything's okay when we're 10th and we can now understand the situation in this team, and it's not going to get much better. The opportunity lies with the ownership to change the strategy. Change it. This strategy is messed up. It's messed up. And it's not going to take us far. But it's not irreversible. This is what I'm saying. We get to the window, we can start looking for some winning experience from elsewhere that can come in and set the example. We spent 1 billion. Some people are going to pluck out the example of Arsenal or whoever. Oh no, but look, if we just wait, we can end up like Arsenal, and they're top of the table at the moment. What have they actually won though? Or are you just going to be happy to just sit in the conversation and do nothing? Nah, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Because when they didn't spend 1 billion, let's be honest here. They didn't spend 1 billion. We spent 1 billion. There's no excuse. Now, money itself doesn't buy you success. You need to know how to spend it correctly. Our strategy has been wrong. We've spent it, you can say, half right. The young talent that we've plucked out, like a Cole Palmer, the money that we've generated from some players that we've let go, that has all been okay in terms of my books. Fantastic. But we haven't actually added the keys that we need in this team to progress and succeed and lead by example to those young players that we've also got into the squad. We've not done that. So we've done the job only halfway. Go and complete the other half. That's the change of strategy that we need to do here. But, like I said, that comes from above. That comes from the owners. That comes from the board. Now, on option number 2 now, reason number 2 that I want to pinpoint is, if this is all coming from above, don't interfere with footballing decisions. Let that to the footballing people. So I hope this isn't a situation where we're now telling Poch what to do and he's just got to shut up and do it. And also, I hope he's not going to accept that. There's a part of me that says that he will. That's what kind of puts me in a situation now where I'm thinking, okay, we're probably in a bit of trouble here now. So, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I was shocked. I was looking forward to hearing in terms of how that training session went. What are the repercussions? What has come out of it? And then I see Nicholas Jackson in the Villarreal dressing room. I'm thinking, okay, what's happened here then? And then I look, and then we get the confirmation there was no training today. What? He publicly stated yesterday that there would be training today as a result of the 4-1 loss. We're going to cancel the day off and then reverse that decision and give the day off. Like I said, no discipline whatsoever. His word means nothing now, apparently. But for what reason? To him or to the people upstairs? So there we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. It's funny today. We've also got a piece that has come out, and you have to admire the timing here. You have to admire the timing, because as soon as the whole training news came out, we got this from the Telegraph. Napoli striker Victor Osimhen will be Chelsea's top transfer target in search for a striker. Exclusive from Mike McGrath from the Telegraph. That's not really an exclusive, is it? We know this. Respectfully, we've known this for about, 2, 3, 4 weeks? We've known this. Chelsea will be pursuing Victor Osimhen. But it's funny that this article's come out at the same time that we've seen all of this madness happen about the training session today that didn't happen. Is it? We have to ask the question. Is it PR? Is it PR to keep fans looking at that and go, oh, no, we're going for Victor Osimhen. Fantastic. That's great. Don't get me wrong. But even so, that won't be the only key to success. That won't be the only last piece of the puzzle. No. We've got a few pieces of the puzzle that we've got to sort out here. Because experience is experience. And right now, we lack it everywhere. It's not going to be one player that sets the example for everybody. It's going to be a few that are going to be your core, your spine, that you need to build around, that need to be winners, that need to have that experience, that need to know exactly what they're doing and show the young ones how it's done. That way they have someone to learn from. Right now, we've got everyone, respectfully, running around like a bunch of headless chickens, it seems. And they're doing what they can in terms of their own ability, but they've not got what it takes up here. They've got ability. They've got the ability. We know this. This team has ability, but they've not got the mental fortitude to carry themselves consistently. They ain't got it. We need players that do. That's your base. That's the point. So We'll see what ends up happening. Let me know your thoughts down below. And then we've had Strasburg today come out, Strasburg fans that have come out. And you know what? Look, I've criticised Strasburg fans before at the start when we got bought out and all of that. And no, when Strasburg got bought out, and I was thinking, well, you know, Strasburg, in the situation they were in, they should be a bit grateful in terms of being plucked out by an ownership that have money and resources, and Strasbourg's going to be benefiting from that. Well, turns out they haven't, because now they're just above the relegation zone and they're frightened of going down as well. So now their ultras and their fan bases have come out and started to speak. Let's get into it. Blue Co aren't welcome and never will be. Strasbourg supporters continue their protest against the club's ownership. Then they released this. Money without competence doesn't lead to anything good. And the example of Chelsea, our so-called big brother, who have spent a lot of money but have had a vertical fall down the English hierarchy, is an important reference point. We don't want to incompetence that reigns at Chelsea at Strasbourg. I now can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with what they've said. They're correct. They are correct in terms of their analysis here. They're correct. We're going to be spending 2 seasons in a row, possibly bottom half of the table, no European football. That's bonkers. If you were told anyone that was going to happen a year ago, someone would have slapped you in the face. But we're here. So, Strasbourg, look, like I've said, I've criticised them in the past. Once in terms of thinking that they just weren't grateful for money injection, resources, something that's going to help them. Well, it turns out it's not helped them and they're peed off. So I don't blame them. Because we've spent $1 billion and we're finding ourselves where we are right now. Like I said, we've done it wrong. The strategy's wrong. But we have a chance to rectify. So it comes from upstairs. Let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in terms of everything that I have discussed in this video. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Do not forget to catch all the content as it drops on here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Check out the socials as well on screen and all in the description. Much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Whatever you are on the spectrum, I'd love to hear your opinions down below. So do let me know. Much appreciated. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you all very much for watching, people. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.